It is a beautiful day out. I am going on a quick cruise right now in the Z. We're gonna get some data logging in and then we're gonna get back to the house. And I have something very special to install into the Z. Let me go do some highway pulls real quick, get some data for the vehicle, for the tune, and maybe we'll start cranking the boost up a little bit more here. Preparing for liftoff. Data is logging. Woo! I was spinning third gear. Dude, traffic sucks today. Maybe I need to start running boost by gear here. Second gear is kind of peaked at like 18, 19 PSI, honestly. At least on the street. Let's take it back home, review the data, and see what we got going on. Then we can start installing the new piece. I'm pretty excited for it. I've had it for a while. If you guys got any kind of value out of this video, it would mean the world to me if y'all went over to the website and checked out some of the merchandise we got. I got t-shirts, we got some hoodies, I got license plate frames, we even got phone cases on there. A lot of it's still 300ZX stuff, but we're working on getting Supra stuff and we're working on getting BRZ and CRX stuff. But here's a quick look at everything we got. This is my hoodie. This is kind of the go-to. And we also have, I'm having this dream and they can't catch me. And then for the more generic stuff, we got show me your TTs. Need money for project car and built not bought. I will say the hoodie I have here is really freaking nice. I know if you guys are in the States right now, it's really hot, so you probably don't want a hoodie, but if you're in Australia, it's a very good option. It's a very nice hoodie. I honestly can't wait to wear it. It's just been 105, 110 degrees out here lately. We also have this style in a t-shirt form. So if you guys want to head on over to billybuilds.com, check out the website. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Let's get back to this video. Today's video, I've got a part that I'm going to be installing that I've actually had sitting around for quite some time now. And in all honesty, I actually painted it. If you remember when I painted my engine bay, for those of you that have been around, I went ahead and painted this entire engine bay. While I had the engine out of the car, I went ahead and shaved everything, got everything nice and pretty looking here, at least as far as the engine goes. The body on the car, I actually got painted, it was probably back in 2017, 2016 era. This was before I had done my first major build on the car. At the time I made the decision that if I'm going to be going through my entire motor, upgrading the turbos, doing a small build on the motor, so on and so forth, I might as well make the rest of the car look good. Anyways, I had the car painted back in 2016, 2017 by myself in my buddy's backyard shop area. But most recently, we resprayed the engine bay. And as I resprayed the engine bay, I also resprayed this here. This is a USDM TwinZ front valence. I've had this thing, well, my wife actually got it for me for Christmas, I believe, the one year. It was just one of those things that I wanted to put on the car, but the car wasn't running, and it's a front lip. Like front lips, valences are, well, they get damaged very easily, and I'm afraid of damaging it. I don't want to damage it. Like, it looks nice right here, right? Like, God forbid I hit something going down the road, but what are you gonna do? That's part of it. So today we're gonna be installing this on my front bumper. I really think this will transform the look of the 300ZX in general. Now, I've always been quite partial to the USDM front bumper. And my whole reasoning for that is, well, y'all are gonna think it's kind of dumb. And don't get me wrong, and I like the JDM front bumper. Everyone does it. Everyone gets the J-spec front end. Everyone wants that look. And I don't wanna be like everyone else, which is also why I build 300ZXs and not 2JZ Mark IV Supras and R32 Skylines. I also can't afford them, I'll admit that. With all that said, we're gonna be installing this front valance onto the USDM spec front bumper. And I really think this will totally transform the overall look of the car. Give it a much sleeker front end, and it'll just sit very nice. Now, I know there are other front valances that are available on the market and front lips. Never really cared for the Stillen look. And yes, one could say that this makes the US front bumper look more like the JDM front bumper. I'm not gonna deny that. It definitely covers up the intercooler ducts on the side and makes them look more just larger in general, gives a little bit more of a scoop, and it also brings it out. You guys will see it. But to install it, I'm gonna actually remove the entire front bumper here, just so I know that it goes on correctly and properly. But anyways, let's get started on the Z. Let's start with pulling off the front bumper and getting this valance fit onto this thing, because this is gonna be a task. It's not gonna be a simple thing, I can tell already. Okay, so one thing I just realized I messed up. Probably should have cleaned this first. It's still dirty because actually when I took it to my buddy's shop last weekend for the Sevens Day event, it rained. And when it rained in that parking lot, it kicked up dirt all over the bottom side of the car. So this is an absolute disaster. So I'm actually going to clean the front bumper before we do anything to it. Okay, so if I'm being honest here, I don't really have any bumper stands. So that kind of makes this less than ideal to set up, but I am going to do my absolute best here to mount this as perfect as possible. I think this bumper would probably be ready for a repaint, a respray, but I don't have the time for that right now, and we're not gonna worry about that just yet, because at the end of the day, it's a bumper. And you know what? That is the beauty of being able to paint my car myself, is I can repaint stuff whenever I want. Is it perfect? No. But does it look more than adequate? I would say yes. So one thing I will say is that the valance is made out of fiberglass, at least some sort of fiberglass reinforced material. It is very easy to repair, being that it is fiberglass. However, I'm hoping we do not have to repair it. It does have some screw holes right here, just the 4 across the top. So I will be able to hopefully get to those rather easily. Let me just test fit this here, because I don't think, yeah. So problem number 1 already is I think I need a bumper hanger of sorts, or at least something to rest it on, because this is not gonna work here on the ground. Let me see if I can set something up here. Okay, so I've given up completely putting it on top of anything, any kind of bumper support. So I tried putting it on the engine stand just now, and it didn't work out at all. I don't have any bumper supports, and honestly, I don't think that'll help much at all either. Because the biggest problem I'm having right now is this car has been in an accident back years ago, and the previous owner had it probably in like the year 2000 or something, 98, 99. Anyways, this bumper I feel has been tweaked in so many ways that it doesn't exactly, it's not formed 100% to its original molding, let's say. So what I've had to do is actually wrap the bungee cord around the middle of it to kind of pick up the bumper sag from the bottom. Now I have repaired this bumper before. Over here you can still see a little bit of the fiberglass poking out of the side. To be honest, I use a special 3M like body filler that allows the the fiberglass and the resin to flex with the urethane bumper. It's not pretty on the backside of the bumper, but you know what? It's actually held up really well over the years, and it's reinforced those points in my bumper so that it hasn't broken or cracked since, because like most of these USDM bumpers, mine was cracked right across here, all the way across. And I repaired it when I repainted the car, and so far it's been holding up really well. Trying to get this piece to fit all at once is not gonna happen for me. This is proving to be quite a pain. So what I think I'm gonna do, as you can see, it's a little bit off the sides on the corners there. This isn't quite pushed up all the way. This isn't quite pushed up all the way, and over there, same thing. However, what I think I'm gonna end up doing is starting with the middle, push these up all the way to the top of the bumper. And then once I get those corners up, as long as they're even here and even here, I think the sides will line up just right. Okay, so the screw is too small for that hole, but too big for this hole. And the plastic clip that comes originally with the bumper it's just right for that hole, obviously, because that's what it's intended for. But as you can see, it is way too big for this hole. So we're just gonna drill this one out on both sides, just a little bit. Now I just have to do this side over here as well. There we go, perfect. All right, so now I'll just do the same thing with both sides, which means I have to unscrew this one here. Thing comes right off, unlike the other one. All right, there we go. So this side needs to clip on like so. This is the best way I've seen to do it, unfortunately. Okay, so the factory screw type push clips are giving me some issues. They're just kind of a pain. It's old technology, as stupid as it sounds, because at the end of the day, they're just push clips. But I'm gonna be using these like regular basic style push clips. Just has the two little tabs on either side that you pop them up and pop them back in. Basically, hoping that this will slide in and out, and then that'll keep it mostly secure. But we'll find out once we get mostly all up in there. Whew. Oh my God, it lines up really good. I'm gonna have to go at this from underneath. Give me a minute. Ah. Oh my God. It fit perfect. Ah. Unreal, y'all. Okay, so that slid in very nicely. I have it clipped here and here. Now I just wanna get one more screw somewhere in the back here, just to kind of help fill that gap. But I also think that once I pull this up and put a screw in, probably in the back as well as one here, that'll take care of that and help with this back here. You get the basic idea here. This is gonna look freaking great. I'm excited for this, y'all. So these were the screws that it came with, but instead of using these screws, I have some of these, which are self-tappers. They have a little washer on it, and these are kind of meant for stuff like this, whereas this one's just kind of a, I don't know. I feel like this would be better if there was a steel clip or something to go into, but it's also quite a bit taller than this other one, which, like I said, this one will drill its own hole and grab really well for me. So I think we're gonna go with these. So I have the push clip here, goes all the way through. And this one right here, I'm gonna put somewhere back in this area. Just to kind of help get a little bit more grip on this, and there should be plenty of bite because there's two different plastic panels in there. There we go. Okay, so there's one more screw that's gotta go through right here. However, you can't really get it from the backside because this part is definitely in the way. So what I think I'm gonna do is go in from this side right here and put a screw through here directly into it. You might be able to see it from the front. However, you'd have to look really, really freaking hard, and I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. Basic setup is now done. I just need to do the final fitment and finishing, which is the corners now. Haven't really thought that through. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we're just kind of winging it. Whether or not this is the right way to do it or not, this is how I'm gonna do it. This isn't exactly a how-to video. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna do this time for the corners that I didn't do for the other holes that I put in the front valance for this, is I'm actually gonna pre-drill the holes on the sides. Now, the reason for that is, well, for number one, I can actually get to them. And number two, I'm gonna be putting in these screws here, which are the longer screws. In all honesty, the reason I'm using these screws instead of the other ones that I was using is because, well, the heads are a little bit more inconspicuous. They don't quite stick out as much, they don't stand out as much, and they'll be a little bit less visible from the sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill these because this isn't really like a self-tapper screw in any way, shape, or form. So I'm gonna line it up how I want it and then go to town. I think I messed up bad. Well, we're not gonna re-drill it. I might have to. I might have to re-drill that one. Oh shit, this sucks. All right, let me try this again. There we go. This first one is just gonna have to kind of stay there. I put in the second screw for support, but I think that's gonna look way better. What I'll probably end up doing is putting some black paint over these so you won't even know they're there. I am quite happy with how this turned out, you guys. Just need a nice, calming, relaxing drive right now. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna go to my spot, see if we can get some quick pictures here, see how things work out. Okay guys, I guess that's gonna do it for this TwinZ front valance install. It kind of leaves me with a little bit more to be desired, honestly, as far as like the body styling of the car goes, because it makes the front bumper look a lot better. I will say it does add some reinforcement to the front bumper, but it just feels like something's missing. I know you can add like a J-spec front lip on this as well. Maybe I'll end up getting some side skirts. I definitely want to get a rear diffuser done on the car. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing the rear diffuser myself or if I'm gonna find one that's off the shelf. In all honesty, I think if anything from here, we'll be buying the side skirt lips from like Power Tricks or maybe TwinZ, I don't know yet. But regardless, side skirts are kind of up in the air. Rear diffuser is definitely next for the car. I do want to keep the factory 94 wing on this car. I love the styling of that 94 wing. It's not really like, I don't know, it's kind of bulky, but it kind of isn't. I'm weird about it. Maybe I'll change that out too one of these days. Who knows? I just don't like leaving extra holes in my hatch. A little bit at a time. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to head over to billybuilds.com, check out the website, get yourself some merch. I know I've been saying this for a while, but I am still working on the Mark III Supra stuff. I just haven't had any time to really get back around to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Y'all take care, and we'll see y'all next time.